but what type of woman are you being? So, this is what a lady at all times is. It's working on you. Work on you. So, where do we start? The front or the back? I'm gonna let you choose.
The back.
All right, the back called it first. Come on, mama. Everyone will get a chance to please stand and let us know. Raise your hand, come on.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Tiana. And I put that the woman that I admire the most is my mother, because she's a compassionate, godly woman. She has a big heart. She's humble, and she always encourages. The way that she has impacted my life is that she constantly smiles me, and she also just exposes us to things that's all about positivity. So I appreciate her for that.
All right. Let's give a round of applause. Next.
Hello everyone, my name is Tawana. A person that I admire is my oldest cousin, Shonda. The type of woman she is, she's a forgiving and loving person. I'm not that. And the impact she had on my life is that the sky's the limit. Despite the way we grew up, she went to college first, and I followed behind her.
Next.
Is it just one? Okay. The women that I admire in my life have always been my grandmother first.
Okay.
She's always been like my rock, because she was a godly woman, and she always knew how to take care of yourself as a woman, as a lady, right?
Yes, yes.
And always, she's a godly woman, teaching me about God, how to present myself as a lady, as a woman growing up. And we conversate about everything. She'd always give me advice and wisdom. And also, my stepmom, Eureka, she came from my and she was also a godly woman. She also taught me in the godly ways of life. And also she admired me from wanting to do better, I guess. Looking at somebody that went to school, went to college, doing all these things, social life, and because some people are just like at home and not going nowhere, and they just in their little circle. Okay, well she was outside her circle. We was always going somewhere, doing things. I never been outside of Texas, and so that right there just admired me. And looking at educated women, and I want to be an educated woman, and I want to be upbringing. I want to be more than just at home. Now, you know what I'm saying? Just add stuff to me underneath me, so also I think that's about it, and I just appreciate her. And like I said, the two women that admire me in my life is Eureka and my grandmother, Georgia.
All right. Next.
Okay, I'll go, because my mom is a crybaby. She's a crybaby.
Don't do your mama.
So, I don't really have to read mine. I've been knowing who my person is. My name is Samantha. First of all, y'all, I'm Samantha. Everybody's favorite. The person I admire is my sister.
Okay.
I look up to her and always. I love the woman that she is. She's a God-fearing woman. She's a person that has a heart of gold. She doesn't mind giving you her last. She doesn't mind going that extra mile for you. And she's always gonna tell you, even though you might be right, well, she's still gonna tell you, well, you were still wrong here. So I'm gonna still correct your wrongs. And the impact that she made on my life is her strive for God, her hunger for God. Like that extra push to get herself to, I want to be more closer to God. That has made a big impact in my life, and also her love for people and her love for kids. I took that and I ran with it and stuff.
All right. Next young lady.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Taylor, and the person I admire the most is my mother. She always loved me through my downfall. She forgave me in every situation. My mother has had the greatest impact on my life. She has instilled great attributes, God, and how to carry myself.
All right.
Hi, my name is Amber. I chose two people. One was Miss Trina, and then a second person is Cece. The characters they have are they're nurturing, loving, compassionate, and reliable. Cece, I haven't known her for long, but like for a few months, but just getting to know her, she stepped in and became the big sister that I always wanted. And she just made sure like I was always good and taken care of, and making sure that the relationship I want with God, she's helping me achieve that. So like, kudos to her.
All right. That's Sophie right there. She got two of them out this bunch.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jabina, and I actually have two people too. One is my great grandmother. Her name was Minnie D. Lambert, and she was a godly woman. That was one of those women you're gonna hear pray. You know, she's gonna wake up. She's gonna wake you up praying.
Okay.
You know, and she's gonna wake you up literally praying. Get up and pray. As a little kid, it was always something about her that I wanted to be in her presence all the time. Again, this is my great grandmother. So there was a weekend I had to be in her house. I had to be in her presence. I had to be in her bed with her. Not knowing all the time as a little girl that she was imparting things in me. She was imparting things in me as a little girl, speaking things over my life, praying over me. You know, didn't understand any of that as a little girl. Sometimes I'd be like, God, leave me alone, you know. But the whole time she was imparting in me, imparting me, imparting me. And the other person is my daughter. I admire her so much. I gave birth to her as a teenager, and she pushed me and made me the woman that I am today. So I admire her for that. So now she's my daughter, but she's my friend. You know, some people say you can't be your friends with your children. I disagree. That's my opinion, but you can't, because she still have the respect for me as her mother. But she also I can talk to her, and she can talk to me without no holds barred. I can say what I need to say. She can say what she gonna need to say with respect. With respect, but she will, you know. So those are the main people, my great grandmother and my daughter. And the funny part about it, both of them have the same birthday.
Wow.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patrina Smith. I also have two. One was my grandmother, Emily Lynn. We always was with her, and I learned how to pray through because I watched her. I learned who God was through her. I learned how to be a woman because she never stepped out the house without looking fashionable. I learned that from my grandmother. She was loving, she was kind, she never had a mean word to say about anybody, no matter what they'd done. I learned it from my grandmother. And my other one is my daughter, Brigette. That is my heart. I have 5 children. And I learned from each and one of my children, which we all should do, learn. And so I learned from my daughter Brigette to be bold and to speak out, because I'm kind of a person, I don't speak out. But she always encouraged me, which all of them do, but she always encouraged me. And she always honest with me. That's how I am with people. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to let you know the truth because I love you. And that's what I learned from her. She graduated with her degree. She got 2 or 3 degrees, and that inspired me to want to go back to school. And she always encouraged, Mama, you can go, Mama, you can go to medical school, Mama, you can go there out to school, you can go, Mama. But I thank God for her life, and I learned how to be humble and meek through my children, because as a parent, you have to learn that. So I just thank my daughter and my grandmother.
Thank you.
My name is Eternity, and I chose my mom because she's loving, strong, and correcting, and she speaks life and love.
All right.
Next young lady.
I have a few, y'all. The first one. Although I have my own mother, and sometimes we as mothers, we go through things in life, and we're not able to sow as much as we want to sow into our children's lives. But mine is who I call Mother Eureka. She has sown love into me. She has shown me strength. She has, and she has a way of sowing into people without recognition. She'll do it, and She don't care what she get back out of it because she so wholeheartedly give from the bosom of her heart.
Yes.
She has spoken into my life in the most darkest seasons of my life, and I thank God for her. The other person was my cousin, great cousin, Jimmy Hilton. She sold into my life. She was she was an inspiration in my life. Between her and my stepfather, they spoke into my life things. They would tell me things that I didn't quite understand. They used to say, "You're going to be a prophet. You're going to be an evangelist." They spoke every gift over my life. I didn't really understand it when they did, but she spoke over my life and sowed seed into my life that held on to me as I grew up and got older. Those were the things that stuck with me. Is that every time I looked at peculiar, I looked at different in the world, I will remember those words that she spoke over me. I remember what she prayed over me, and I would remember what she told me I was destined for in God. The other two people were my sisters. Lestine Lett, she has sown into my life tremendously. God used her when I got saved. She was part of my deliverance. And Quinette Doe, she has sown into my life. That's my sister. She has sown into my life, and like her mother said, she will correct you, and she's gonna correct you with love, but she's gonna let you know, hey, that's not what God is saying. What is God saying? Are you hearing from God? So she has been a great seed sower into my life.
Hello, y'all. I'm Cece. For those who don't know me, okay. So with that being said, I do have a few as well, but my main one is my mother. She has pushed me since she knew what was in me, and I say that to be that no matter what she go through, no matter what she's going through, as up, she still keeps that same energy, that same drive, that same push. You will never know nothing unless you ask. But the thing is, she doesn't go out there trying to look for attention. The thing is, she has a big heart. My other few is once I got a relationship closer and growing up was my Aunt Eureka and my aunt, who brought me closer to God in a position that I am in now, because I have not always been like this now. So I do thank God for them as well, and I also thank God that as I've grown and met Sister Rubenana, who have took me under her wings as her guardian, godchild, her other child. I thank God for meeting her, because she is also remind me of the love I have for, the same respect I have like for my Aunt Eureka and Miss Arena. And I thank God for my other aunt, Cheryl. She has also showed me the direction I need to, and she made a big impact on me, bringing me closer to God as well. So with that being said, I thank all the ladies who have done a lot for me.
Hi, I'm Alon. This is Nova. My person is my older cousin. She got pregnant at a young age, and everyone thought like she wasn't gonna be able to do the things she did. She now is on her third house and has a beautiful family. And I've always known her to be hardworking and not caring on what people say. People always push her down, and she just never cared. And when I got pregnant at a young age, I just thought of her, and till this day I still look up to her. I think she knows that, but I do. And she makes me want to be like a good mom and a good person.
Oh, beautiful.
So we have one more row. No. I'm Rebecca, and the two special women that I have in my life, I don't know why I'm so emotional right now.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Because this is what they do. When people have impact on your life, that's what happens. You're at that moment of realizing just how big they've been in your life.
Amen.
Okay, let me move something else. Okay, first is my mother. It's all right, thank you, sir. Mighty woman of God. Biggest heart ever. Just very, very, very loving woman. And she is the one that really, truly taught me about God. Jesus.
It's okay.
And then Keisha. I don't know if that make better or worse.
Yeah, me over here about to
Go
cry.
ahead, I'll hold you through.
Stop crying, Rebecca. Trying to cry, yeah.
Oh, Lord. It's Keisha. I met Keisha some years ago. This woman is such a mighty woman of God. And not only, and she will straight up correct you. And she's not nice about it, but it's with love. And you feel it and you know that it's with love. And she's gonna take it right back to God. And she's gonna, she's just an awesome woman of God. She's strong, she's courageous. I've watched her over probably the last 10 years, and she's really just flourished. And I've watched every phase of that during that transition, and I'm like, wow, like that is now that's a woman. And it just inspires me. I look up to her for her strength, for her character, for her dignity, and just being such a mighty, powerful woman of God.
Hello, my name is Erica Goodner. I have two people. God placed this lady in my life many, many years ago. She became my spiritual mother, and she still is today. Her name is Deborah Wilson. What can I say? So much to say about her. She has been a total blessing in my life. She has prayed me through so many things. Many people don't know I have 4 sons. One has went to prison for about 5 years. She prayed him, I'm gonna say she prayed with me the whole 5 years. And one day I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning. God woke me up and said, pray immediately. And I don't know why, but I called her and she said, she didn't ask me any questions. She just said, let's pray. We prayed for about 3 hours. And she said, God just told me to tell you he's about to be released.
Oh, glory. Hey.
And he was released the very next day. No, I didn't have anything that we didn't know anything. He didn't know, I didn't know. She just told me, God would tell me he was about to be released. The very next day, the people called me, hey, your son is about to be released. She has just been a blessing in my life. With her, it's so pure. She has no judgment. I think her ministry is with young people. Of course, I'm not young anymore. But she took me under her wing when I was a young girl, having all of these little bitty baby boys, and I didn't know what to do. She still teaches me how to pray, how to be an intercessor, how to be a woman. And just doesn't judge me for anything, even though when I got divorced, she prayed me through my divorce, everything. And so she still prays with me right now, even though I'm still I'm feeling my way through life, even at this age. And my other one is my sister, Nicole Bird. She's a minister, and she's a pastor, let me say that. What do I say about my sister? Now she hardcore. She is a hardcore minister. Since I was a child, she stayed on me. Like she does not play with me when it comes to the things of God. Like even when I'm like, sister, I just want to throw in a towel. She's like, no, we don't throw in a towel. We're strong. My mother was a prophet, and we just all. I don't know what happened, but it's the gift. I believe it's the gift that God gave us. But yeah, my sister, because her sweet spirit is sweet, but it's strong at the same time. It does not waver. It does not waver. And so those are my 2 people.
Hi, my name's Anna. I chose my mom. I chose my mom just because she's genuine and selfless. She's forgiving and she just sees the best in everybody. So she just impacted my life just by leading by example on how to treat others and helping me see the best in myself and loving myself.
That's good.
I chose my grandma because she's very old school Christian. She definitely is a tough love. Like, she'll tell you when you're messing up, but she'll like be on your butt about it. But you know it's coming from a good place. No matter what I've done or what I've been through, she's always been there to let me know that she's not going nowhere. She loves me through it all. And so that's it.
What's your name?
Marquis.
My name is Dejana. I chose my grandmother, Esther Green. She passed away last year. I chose her, I admire her because she's a woman of God, a nurturer, and she's a blessing to others. So if she see like any random person having a bad day, she knows how to turn that day upside down by just praying for them. She is definitely a praying woman. The impact she has on my life is being my reason getting closer to God, because in the beginning I wasn't really as close to God, but ever since she passed away, I feel like I've just been like hearing voices in my head. And so when Aaliyah got to me and told me about Bible study, I've been going to Bible study very often, nonstop with them. So my grandmother always spoke life into me, and when things were always hard in my life, she taught me how to, whenever I'm seeking for something, to ask God, whether it's something good or something bad, whatever I'm going with, just keep God first. So
All right. Yes, yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Brittany. I chose my mother. She's also a life coach and just recently became a minister. I would say her being God-fearing, nurturing, her resilience. A lot of things she's been through that I wasn't born, I'm still learning about. It's bringing me closer to understand that her impact was, no matter what you go through, always have faith, believe that no matter the storm, God will see you through.
Thank you. Next young lady.
I'm Maya. My person is my aunt. Basically, growing up with her being a little bit younger, I was able to see like her living with us, her going through her struggle and the little things. But it's like now, seeing the woman she's become today, she's almost making $1 million. She's opened up her own business. She's living in $1 million homes doing this, and just seeing where she came from and just losing her mom, my mom, her brother. Like, she's lost so many people in her life, and she continues to just thrive. So I admire her a lot for that. She shows me a lot to continue to keep going no matter what.
Thank you. Thank you. Next young lady.
So my name is Kendra. I have stage fright. So I haven't known this person for too long, but the little time that I have known her, I do feel like she deserves the recognition. She has impacted my new seasons that I've been going through quite a bit. And it's Miss Eureka. She is so God-fearing. She's so sweet. She has the biggest heart. The biggest impact she's had on me is how to be a mom and how to just let stuff go and take it to God. And that's something that I didn't really use back then, but she constantly pushes that into everyone she sees. She doesn't see the bad in anyone, no matter how much you speak it to her. It's non-existent, and I just love her for that.
Thank you.
So my name's Aaliyah, and the person I admire, of course, is my mother. And what I love about her so much is she's selfless. Like, she has a big heart. She's very generous, very forgiving, very giving, loving, and she's a kind woman. And the way that's impacted me is it makes me want to be a more softer and peaceful person and a more forgiving person. So she inspires me to do such things.
Thank you. Next young lady.
Hey everybody, I'm Kayla. The two people I chose was my mom and Aaliyah. Me and Aaliyah, we really didn't we had a rough like starting, but she is like she's been there for me. She's very understanding. She's strong. She's a strong woman, including my mom. They both impact me. They keep me pushing. Like they always own me. It doesn't matter what it is about. Aaliyah's always texting me, keeping me going. Like even when I'm down, she's there. My mom, she's like, I admire her because like everything that she's been through, everything that she's done, even though like we have a rocky relationship too, it's just like she keeps me going, like she pushes me no matter what.
Thank you. Next young lady.
My name is Cheyenne, and the person I admire is my mom. And the impact she's had on my life is showing me how to be more independent and strong.
Thank you. Next young lady.
She has really bad anxiety.
Okay. All right.
My name is Mindy, and let's see. I had a really hard time with this because I don't really have a lot of strong women in my life. I didn't have a mom. She passed when I was younger. Okay. So my, I would say the woman I admired most growing up was my Aunt Barbara, and because growing up, she was just my idea of the perfect mother. She was a Christian woman. She was a great mom, and she was just everything perfect to me. And then as an adult, it would be my friend Butterfly Love, and yes, she legally changed her name to Butterfly. And she is selfless, loving, kind, genuine, and she's just a real friend. Even after I moved from Vegas, she kept in contact. And she worked with me on being like comfortable in my own skin and laughing more and just loving myself more and accepting ourselves and stuff.
Next young lady.
Hi, my name is Melcretia, and I chose my mom. I actually chose two. But I chose my mom because she's strong and she's loving, she's giving, she loves children. She's a server when it comes down to her husband, and you don't really see that too much around him. So, you know, when it comes down to like cooking and doing being a wife, you know, she's that, you know, let him like take control or whatever. So I like that about her, and she always kind of tries to like push me to doing the things that I do or want to do. And she loves people. She takes care. She used to, for her profession, she was like a CNA, so she like took care of old people, and I like the way how she just like cared for them. And although they died over and over and over again, she still would do it, you know. And so I'm just like, Mom, you gotta be strong. She's sitting and watching these people keep dying, like, you know. So I feel like you gotta have a good heart to be able to do that.
Definitely.
So then my second person that I chose, I got so many great women in my life, but was Bina. And the reason I did that is because I'm a stylist, and so I'll just touch him for me because every time Bina would come in to the salon, it was like a happy moment for me. It was a happy moment because I knew that I was going to be filled when she left. I knew that we was going to talk, and it was a connection from day one. Like day one, it was just opening up, and I mean through life, through being a parent, I seen how she loved her children, how she went through with her husband, she loved her husband, you know, and it just kind of let me know that you can keep on fighting, you can keep on going, you can keep on pushing, you know, as long as you have God in you, and you know that God is going to take you to that next level, you know, you keep on praying and you keep on going. So for me, every time she came, it was like, this ain't gonna be an hour. This gonna be like 3 hours. It's gonna be like 4 hours, you know, like we gonna talk. And it didn't even matter because the next one's gonna wait because we, you know. So when she opened up and she called and she said, hey, you know, Mel, I'm like, I'm gonna be there, you know, for real, because I wanted to just encourage her because I know that this is something that she wanted to do and she said that she wanted to do, and she the person for it. Like, she's the person for it, you know. And so I just want to just encourage her and just want to say thank you for inviting me, you know, and it's a great turnout, and, you know, so, yeah, she's her.
Next young lady, I really appreciate it.
You will.
Hey y'all, so my name is Jeanette, and the person I put was my sister Alexandria, cause I always wanted to be like her, and I always looked up to her. I wanted to dress like her. I wanted to get the same shoes as her. Every time she got something, I was like, oh, I want that. And I always looked up to her. She was always a role model for me, and yeah. The person I admire the most is my mom, because she picks me up when I'm down. She lets me know when I'm right. Well, when she lets me know right from wrong. She speaks life into me. She started being a mom at a young age, and she's still learning how to be a mom, and yeah. And the second person is my sister Shay. Sometimes she feels like she's a big failure, but in reality, she's doing a really good job. She's a great mom. She's a good sister. She gives her last. She'll give me the call of her back if I needed it, and she just pushed me and keeps me lifted.
All of you all, please, seriously, a standing ovation for every woman that you all have talked about that has been an inspiration in your lives. Honestly, they have been oh, I'm so sorry. They such a big help to me. I just claim it is for me. I'm sorry.
I'm Eureka, and I promise I did not say all these people to say that I was
Eureka
person, but my person. So I am who I am because of my person, and my person is my grandmother, and her name was Annie Jenkins. And when you see me, I think you see her. All that I am is because of her. My mom had me as a teenager, and so I grew up in her home. So she was like my mother, and my mother was like my sister. But yeah, she was my biggest supporter. She didn't have a lot. She was a woman that had she didn't have a lot of money. She didn't have a lot of fancy anything, but she had a heart that was as big as the world. And she used to always tell me, she said, I would never treat a dog wrong. So she said, I would never treat a person wrong. She loved people unconditionally. I mean, she had 9 children, and then a whole slew of grandchildren, a whole slew of great-grandchildren. By the time she died, she had 4 generations of children. And when she was on her deathbed, she called us all in to say goodbye before she died. And she was so at peace. She was about 96 years old, and what she told me, she said, when I go to heaven, I'm going to ask God to bless you because you've been a blessing to me. And she said that people have told me that I've had a hard life. She said, but I don't remember having a hard life. She said, all I remember is my beautiful children that have always been there for me. So all the struggles, everything that she went through meant nothing because she loved her children so much. And so that's what's inside of me. Every person that spoke kindly of me and said the impact that I've made in their life, because that's who I am. I am that because of my grandmother, and that's the lady that I will always admire and miss terribly. That's it.
So Ms. Nina don't want her turn? Okay, now can we give a standing ovation to every woman that has been that woman in our lives? They deserve it. Whether they are here with us today or whether they are, have passed on, they deserve this applause right here. Thank you. So I appreciate you guys. And again, I welcome you to a lady at all times. So the anonyms is a lot, A-L-A-A-T. Pronounce it as a lot. I don't want to hear nobody else tell me what they're not. From this day forward, I want you to remember you are a lot. Speak positive affirmations into your own life. I don't care what nobody have told you, because I have been told in my life that I was nothing and I would never have nothing. That may be true to them, but God said, I am somebody. Amen. And yet, while I might still not have anything, I may not have a lot of money, I'm well taken care of, and I thank God for it. I have a roof over my head. I thank God for it. I have food. I have clothes on my back, and I'm grateful for that. I don't ask for much. I know a lot of people want a lot of things, and that's fine. That's good. Have it. Do it. Work for it. Don't wait for nobody to give it to you. Do it on your own. But I came out of that. It shut my self-esteem down so bad, and it hurt. Has anybody else in this room ever been told you're nothing? Can you do that again? Has there anybody else in this room have been told you was never going to have anything? Those are the worst hurtful words in the world. It breaks down your self-esteem. I don't care, 100 people can tell you, oh, you're good, you're doing good, you a good job. But you still got that one person in your ear, and it's in your head, and it's embedded in your heart that you're nothing. So I couldn't accept what God is doing right now and today, because for years I felt that pain. I felt like, well, I try it, I'm going to fail because I'm nothing. I felt like, well, Lord, how are you going to tell me to step out on faith? And that's just not for this, that's anything. And then what happens to all the other things in life that I have tried to do and I failed at it? Oh, that person was right. The devil is a lie, not today.
Yes, he is.
I am a lot. I am a lady at all times. And that's knowing who I am, and I am not who that person said I am. We are going, what is a lady? Watch, listen, learn, and do. I heard somebody back here talk about the woman in her life that you was not going to catch her slipping. Self-care, appearance, it's important, ladies. I have an aunt, and many of my cousins tell me I am a lot like her, but I admired her because you was not going to catch her slipping. I was in Ohio one time, and her son lived right next door to her. True story. He didn't have sugar, so I went next door to get some sugar, right? She left me standing on the porch because she didn't have her wig on. This was the type of woman that walked around her house in her furry slippers and her sachets. She did. This is what she did. And she left me standing outside, and I said, Auntie, all I want is some sugar. She said, baby, let me gather myself together. That's my aunt. But she wouldn't let me catch her slipping. I have never in my life, ever to this day, and she's still classy. She is still that one. You are not going to catch her slipping. Ladies, get yourself together. Somebody might hate me right now, but those who know me love me, and you will too. I hate bonnets. There, I said it. I can't stand them. They were not meant to be worn outside the house. They were meant to cover your hair to keep it when you go to sleep. They are not cute and they are not sexy at all. So I'm going to move forward because I probably made somebody mad, and I'm sorry. I love you. Come to me and hug me after this. Your attitude. I heard people talk about attitudes, helping them keep it together. Attitude. Oh my God. Don't think, I know a lot of y'all met me in my AC. Let me explain that. That's my after Christ. But my BC, yeah. My BC, I'm still a sweet person, but you got cut differently back then. Okay. Don't let this little 5'11" cute smile mess you up.
5'11".
It was, 4'11".
Feeling yourself real good.
Don't let this 4'11" mess you up. But my attitude, it was nasty. Do y'all know my own mother used to tell me, I remember I was 17 years old, and my mother used to tell me in my teenage years, I don't like you. You know, I'm a teenager, so I don't like you. And she would say this. She would tell me she loved me, but she didn't like who I was because I had a nasty attitude.
Yes.
And we walk around and we think these attitudes are cute, they're not. You only hurting yourself because the person you give an attitude to, they really don't care and they're going off about themselves. In your walk, I was 23 years old. And I dropped my son off at basketball practice. And I was just walking to my car. And it was two elderly ladies walking across the street. And this one lady told me, she said, baby, I was watching you come across the street. Like, okay, well, what did I do? Because I respect my elders. Again, this is during time I still had a bad attitude problem. So I'm like, okay. And she said, are you a model or something? Now I'm feeling myself. No, ma'am, I'm not. She said, I love the way you walk. Do you know, being a lady has something to do with your walk? Do you know that your walk can tell you everything, tell somebody everything about you? What happens when you're not feeling good and you slumped over and what's the first thing somebody go ask you?
You all right?
If you take off and you walking fast and you running, what somebody go ask you?
Where you going? You in a rush? Hurry, slow down.
So your walk.
Get it. Sashay away.
Did that just make sense to anybody?
A whole lot of sense.
Okay. In the way you talk. We don't always have to be snappy. I like to say pray before approaching. That has helped me so much.
Me too.
Pray before, you took that advice?
Me too.
It works. Pray before approaching. That has allowed me to watch what I say to people. Because I told you my BC, she was flip. Now God is still using me because I'm still bold. I'm just the PG version of me. Please understand. This is the PG version of me. But it's in the way we talk. I was at work, this is before I moved here, and my co-worker, his name was Phil. I had a bad potty mouth. I did. It was not becoming of any type of lady. Mom, Nana, and my grandmother would have been disappointed. But they never heard me talk like that because I would never do it around them. But I was at work one day and he would hear me talk because we would have conversations and I was cussing just for no reason. There was not even a reason to cuss. It was just every word and a half was a cuss word. Didn't have to, but it was part of my vocabulary. That's what I did.
Right.
And so he was coming in and I was talking with somebody else and they finished and then he and I had started having a conversation. We were talking, I was just acting out. He said, whoa, Bina, you got a nasty mouth for a lady. And it hit me.
Got you.
It didn't stop me, not at that point. But it hit me. What stopped me was,
Oh man.
I was talking to my dog at the time, Lady. A lot of y'all know Lady. I was talking to Lady, and I was cussing this dog out. And I heard, I'm serious. I'm just like, get your so-and-so over there and sit down. Girl, lady, come here. And everything I said to this dog was a cuss word. And it was me and the dog in the house. And I heard myself. It was ugly. It was ugly. So I started a swear jar in the house because I felt like everybody's just cussing. It didn't get filled. But I checked myself. I did. I checked myself. Posture, body language. Ladies, don't get offended. Somebody else about to really get mad at me. Just come up and hug me and I won't tell nobody that you was mad at me. Your posture. Fix yourselves. You will get older. Put them backs back. Because as you get older, all this slumping and slundering, it's gonna hurt. My daughter told me, and both of my daughters told me, Mommy, you always tell me, if you know my oldest daughter, oh, she had a lot. And she would say, Mommy, my back hurt. I said, sit up. She was like, it hurt. That's because she was always slouching. And then when she sit up, to curve herself. Do you know that when you become an older woman, have you ever walked around and you've seen an elderly woman and her posture? Correct it. God said he will straighten crooked things, so start straightening up your backs. Your body language. Body language gives a lot to people. Sometimes your body language can give off the wrong signal to other people. I'm learning this part more and more in my psychology class, and it is personal communication, interpersonal communication. And the one thing, 2 units we were on had to deal with language, period. Body language was one of them. Our body language, just like our attitude and our walk and our talk, tells a story about us. Respect. Being a lady is about being respectful. No one can look at you with decency if you don't first have respect for yourself. And if you don't have respect for others, you have just lost the period. Self-evaluation is a must. Classy. That auntie I was telling y'all about, she's the most classiest woman. Her and a couple, I have a few aunts that are like that. And my dad's 2 older sisters, definitely. They are the most classiest women. I don't care if my aunt has on a jogging suit, she's gonna throw some heels on, or, well, she's a little older now, but some pumps or something. But these women, I have never caught them walking around. I have never seen, have I seen them, man, I come to think of it, I may have heard them cuss in conversation, but everything that's up there is those women. And these are the women, my nana, my aunts, my mom, these are the women I look at. These are the women that has taught me how to be who I am today. I do not want to disappoint. And neither do I want to disappoint you, and neither do I want to disappoint my own daughter. Where is it? So, while we are talking about self, oh my God, I had so many notes, I can't see my notes. Start with your mind, your thinking process. What you think you are is what you will be. You have to set your mind on higher things, better things. Like I said before, somebody else told me what I wasn't, but then when I searched myself and I made up my own mind that I'm gonna be somebody, I am somebody. And I'm somebody that's worth loving.
Yes.
But guess who gotta love me first?
Me.
I have to love me
Yes.
first. You have to love you first. Get your mind right. Get your mind right about yourself. Because once you find out who you are, can't nobody, and I'm not saying don't go around getting cocky about it. But once you know who you are, if I had known who I was at that point, that person could have never hurt me. Never.
Yep.
But I was still searching. I was still trying to figure me out. Your body is God's temple. And I can't see these, but I really need to show you guys this. There are scriptures, and I'll get them to you, and I'll show them to you. Your body is God's temple. True story. My mom passed away, and I know many of you all probably say, you probably can see it through here. My mom passed away. And for my first Mother's Day, my husband said, what do you want? So I wanted to honor my mom. So I got this tattoo on my arm. It's pretty, it's really pretty. That was a Saturday, get to church that Sunday. And my mother's twin sister, what's that on you? I was like, that's, my mama. You know what God said about writing on your body, huh? Do you know that the Bible tells us, do I have some Bible believers in the house? Because I don't want you to say that I said it. I want you to search the scriptures, because Rubenana didn't say it. But the Bible says that as these are temples of God, we are not to mark on our bodies. We are not to do stuff like this to honor the dead. Now, I am gonna have to ask for forgiveness, and I have, and you know, deal with the Lord with that. But if you have not, does not mean that you have to start. If you search yourselves, I'm not telling you what to or what not to do. But if you search the scriptures, and if you have been teeter-tottering with getting markings or anything on your bodies, ask God, search the Bible. Don't be at a point where you have to go back and repent and ask God to forgive you for doing something that he said dishonors him. Our spirits. How many times do we feel, you wake up in the morning and how do I put this? You wake up in the morning and you feel like, ugh. You just feel, ugh. Something just not right. It makes you off balance. Your body becomes off balance. Part of that is because we're not nourishing our spirit man. They say what you water nurtures. You nurture what you water. If you water it, if you feed it, you are what you eat. So if you're nurturing yourself with negativity, you have a negative life. If you nourish yourself with ungodly stuff, then ungodly things you will follow. If you nourish yourself with the things of God, then guess what? You're putting on the Spirit of God, and you are inviting more of God into your life. So what you feed yourself, that's what you'll be. So if you want to help your spirit man to become a better person, watch what you eat. Yes, I am a woman of God, and I have to explain this. I was just having a conversation with my husband's friend the other night, and I was last night, and he asked me a question, and I said, first of all, I serve a God that sits high and he looks low.
Yes.
Second of all, because he was asking me about how do I stay saved, and I was explaining, I'm like, dang, one, I serve a God that sits high and he looks low. And I'm very scared of that. Jesus and Jill are the two J's I don't play with. Two, seriously, I just don't play with Jesus and Jill. And so, because I serve a God who sits high and looks low, I'm careful about what I do because I understand God is watching me. The other thing is, I watch what I eat. I don't listen to worldly music. Because then I'll put myself back into that place. That's for me. It will help you too. He asked me, he said, I can't remember what all he said, but he was telling me some things, and I told him, I simply told him, I said, well, if that's what you continue being a part of, then that's what you will continue to go after. Because he was telling me that he was getting himself right with God. And I said, but what are you doing to get yourself right with God? You can't say you want to get yourself right with God, one, if you don't believe the word of God. So that's a big problem.
Yes.
And so we had that conversation, and I was just simply telling him, just start off with feeding yourself positive things. What you are, what you eat is who you are. The people we hang around. You can become those people. My mother was always, I had a friend, and I didn't know, one of them, she's a woman of God, she had this discernment on her life, and she saw things that I didn't see. I wasn't trying to see it. And I had this one friend, and my mother just simply said, it's something about her I don't like. But, okay, you judging my friend, mama. And she said it's something, she would always tell me, it's something about that girl I don't like. We barely got through junior high. And I hadn't seen this girl in like 4 years. When I did see her, she was strung out. Come to find out, during the times we were hanging together, she was dipping and dabbing in drugs, in the wrong things. My mother sensed that. My mother felt that. I thank God my mother did. And although I didn't want it to turn, let me tell you something. I didn't just let her go as a friend. I believe my mother prayed her away. I truly do. Because I didn't just stop being her friend. Something happened and we just stood apart. You are who you are what you eat. So even choosing your friends, choosing the people you are around. How many of us have people that's just always negative? Or somebody that's just always loud, and you just want to take their mouths up. I got a sister like that, and I hope y'all ain't video. She might see this, but she's just always loud. And every time she come in the room, everybody knows what's gonna happen, and she's laughing, so I don't know what.
Pray for you, Charmaine.
But she's so fun to be around, but she's so loud, Jesus. We love her. But at the same time, we'd be happy to see her go. I'm sorry. Oh, God, I'm sorry she gonna see that. So, find your peace. How do you find your peace, Lexi? How do we find our peace? Do you know that you do not have to come out of character every time somebody says something you do not like? Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. All right.
Glory. Glory. Woo. Jesus.
You do not have to come out of character. Do you know that builds your peace? Seriously. When you begin to come to a place you can learn how to ignore them people, your life is going to become more peaceful. I'm not going to argue with you. You can raise your voice if you want to. But I got the right to walk away. I don't have to hear it. As for me, I say it's wasted air. I'm not going to argue with you because it's wasted air. Well, you're not going to say nothing? No, I don't have anything to say. Amen. Again, I pray before approaching because I don't want the BC to come out and I'm still trying to serve God. So I like this AC of me. So no, I'm not going to let you take me out of character. I'm going to keep my peace.
Yes.
I have become a more peaceful person. That's my witness. I have become a much peaceful person because I learned how to shut my mouth.
Come on.
Yes. We got to start with self. This is not about anybody else. It's about us. It's about you. You can take this bank, cash this check, and I'm telling you, start telling other people. When you always say, somebody says something, you're like, girl, you need to worry about yourself. No, seriously, you need to worry about yourself. Because once you take care of you, get your mind right, get your body right, get your spirit right, and find your peace, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Nothing.
And you know what? I'm good with not even having friends because I've lost some friends along the way. Finding my peace. I told my husband and my kids, I will leave y'all for my peace.
Hello.
And I mean it.
Yes.
I love them, but I love the peace that I have found. If you are not a part of my peace, you are a part of a problem, and I'm solving it.
Yes.
That's it. And that is a part of where I am at. I live by that. If you're not a part of my peace, you're a part of a problem. My daughter told me one day, she said, I was going on and I was ranting about something and somebody had upset me and, I was mad about it. And she said, Mommy, you already know what to do. You pray your problems away. I said, girl, you know what, you're right. She changed me. I pray my problems away. Try it. God will never leave you nor forsake you. Start telling God about them people that's working.
Yes. Woo,
Start
Jesus.
telling God about them people you need to walk out of your life.
Yes.
And stop inviting them back into your life.
That's
because
it.
you're not going to find your peace.
That's it.
If you keep allowing them to come back in.
Yes.
God removes them and you bring them back.
Yes.
You take them out again and you bring them back. We just that silly. That's just what we do. Because let me tell you one thing, and this is about to hit somebody. You know the reason why you keep bringing them back? One, because you think you can save them. Two, because you think you need them. Three, because you think they're worth something in your life.
Oh, don't
Search
get this hip.
yourself.
Don't get this hip to
Know
shout.
who you are. Get your mind right, and you'll know where their place is in your life. That is the truth. That is simply the truth. I'm not telling nobody to be by yourself. I'm just telling you to take care of yourself. Because sometimes people are waste of time in your life. They were not meant to be there, and they are sucking the life out of you. They are taking your peace, and you're disturbed. Is there anybody in this room that has ever let somebody go, and when they were gone, you realized you was peaceful?
Jesus.
And you brought them right back, and now the hell is back in your life. See how we do that? See how we do that? God removed them for a reason. They may be a problem, but they were not meant to be your problem. Not your problem. Now, building relationships. Where are my single ladies?
Single ladies?
Don't be ashamed.
Single ladies, where y'all at?
Don't be ashamed. All right now, ain't nothing wrong with being single. I was that once. That was all right. And I'm going to tell you, if there are any of you that desire to be married at some point, first of all, let's go back to self. Fix you before you go inviting him into your life. He who finds himself a wife finds a good thing. Do you know how to be his good thing? I ain't always knew.
All smells over there. All smells over there.
But I learned. All right. Keep that smile.
Hey.
Gotta learn how to be his good thing. And the word "and" means there's something else. Not only are you his good thing, obtain favor with the Lord. So now you his good thing, and you being obedient to God, and now y'all just blessed. Y'all gonna be blessed. That's to my single ladies. I'm telling you that because if you're a lady in waiting, or if you're engaged and you get ready to get married, please understand this. Hide yourself in the Lord so that he that is seeking can find you. That's my game of hide and seek. Y'all know how to play hide and seek. You go hide. So go hide yourself in the Lord. Go sit down somewhere. Stop looking for him. Because if my Bible people are in here and you say you follow after the word of God, there were so many that talked about spirituality and the Lord. Well, this is what the Lord desires of us. To let him find you. That's part of working on self. That's part of knowing who you are. Because see, while he's looking for you, work on you. Work on you. You don't want to go invite nobody in your space and you're not ready. That's why, ask the married women, that's why we fail. Because we weren't ready.
Yep.
We hadn't worked on us. We have so much baggage and we just weren't ready. We wanted it, but we weren't ready. I was 23 when we first got married. I said I do to this man 3 times. Wasn't ready. Pray and ask God to prepare you to be the wife that he needs.
Yes.
That's still taking care of you. Did you know that? I asked God, Lord, make me who he needs me to be. The reason why I said that is because every man is different. All men ain't out here looking for the same thing. You are unique in your own way. You are you. Ask God to make you who he needs. Not all 3 of them, but that one man who he needs. Seriously. That's going to make you a good wife. That's going to make you a better woman. Ask God to help you to be who that man needs. Make sure you're ready for what you are asking for. Ladies, I sat with a woman last week and we were talking and I almost jumped out of my seat because I knew that I had this down to talk about, but they were talking about she said, she was talking about how she had been married, she was divorced, she wanted to be with somebody, but then we got to talking and she said, but then again, I don't really know if I want him, and you know, I don't really want to settle down. And I'm saying to myself, girl, you bipolar, how you think you want a man, but you don't know if you want to share your space with him. Go back to self, check yourself, work on you. Because if you worked on you, you'd know exactly what it is that you want. You know what you want. And so, be his good thing. And I've said that. Know what your man like. Because if you don't be his good thing, someone else will. And I just have to be honest and tell you the truth.
Yes, yes.
If you don't do it, somebody else will.
Somebody else will.
I ain't giving her that chance. And if so, please understand, she gonna have a hard thing to come around. Cause I take care of home. I ain't being cocky cause mine's sitting over there. I'm just telling you the truth. If he decides to go somewhere else later, make sure he come back home. Cause she can't give him what you give him. That's why you gotta be his good thing. Yeah, we get mad at him. Yeah, we get upset with him. But baby, learn how to take care of that man. I promise you this one thing. You learn how to take care of him, mind, body, and soul. You can get anything out of him you want. One, he's yours. So you get to know him. You know his mind. You do what you have to do to keep yours at home. And I know somebody probably mad at me about that. But I'm just tell you it's the truth. If you wonder why he not coming home, it's because you probably ain't cooked. And he at her house. If you wonder why, it ain't his mama's house neither. If you wonder why that man ain't came home, it's probably because he know when he walked through the door, the house is gonna be nasty and you've been sitting there all day.
Talk about it.
If you wonder why he's not coming home, it's because he's somewhere else with somebody whose attitude is less nastier than yours.
Hey, talk about that.
Because he know when he walk in the door, all you about to do is, and you go give him attitude, and he ain't got no meal, and his house next. Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing? I know a woman that done lost the same man twice for the same thing. She didn't even know his favorite meal. The old folks used to say the way to a man's belly is, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You better feed them, they like to eat. You better be the one that feed them. I'm gonna tell you what I tell mine, and don't bring another woman food up in my house, I'm throwing it away. I ain't being funny, I'm being for real. I'm telling you the truth. Learn how to do for yours. This is teaching you. If this is what you say you want, my single ladies, you want a man, get yourself together, know who you are, know what you want, and then start applying some things to your life. So when he comes, you ready. You're not still playing double dutch. No, you're not playing double dutch. You already in there. You already know what it is that you're doing. And my wives, where are my wives? Where are my wives? Woo, woo!
I'm married now.
To my wives, every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pluck it down with her hands. First, understand, the single you cannot be the relationship you. If you come into your marriage still trying to, and please understand, when we talk to married couples, we tell them this too. Men too. And go home and tell your husband if he act like he's single. Baby, the single you is not the relationship you. You married now. Ain't no sitting around here acting like you by yourself. If you're not ready, don't jump into it. We fail when we keep jumping into things that were not meant for us. We fail when we just jump into it because, oh, I love him. Do you know them? They say you don't really know somebody until after you've been married and you live with them. That's true. You still learning each other. Almost 30 years, I'm still getting to know. I know him, but he does some things and I be like, you should have told me that 25 years ago. But the relationship you cannot be the single you cannot be the relationship simply because you have invited somebody else into your space. Into your space. If you like sleeping by yourself, stay single. If you don't like to cook, stay single. Unless y'all have an understanding that he's gonna do some cooking too, or he's gonna bag you know, y'all go eat out a lot. It's costly, but to each his own. That's your meal ticket. If you like being who you are, stay single. Don't go bringing nobody into your space and you're not ready for it. It's a fight, it's conflict, it's too much. You're already figuring each other out. You're already trying to find out who this person is that you're with. Y'all are already two different people trying to live as one. So, if you're not ready for it, stay single. Again, check yourself first. One thing about marriage is this. Wives blame the husbands, husbands blame the wives. It's both of you. It's not just one. The reason why it's not one or the other is because when you became married, you became one. So now as two separate people, one flesh, y'all have to start figuring out how to work things out. Get you some counseling, find your life coach, but do something to understand how y'all gonna make it and stay together. Marriage can be easy and marriage can be hard. It can. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. Marriage does not have to be hard. You go either have peace or war. Half the time you bring in the war yourself. He's got his issues, you got your issues. But ladies, you can have the husband you want to have. Understand. Please understand that. Check yourself first. Stop trying to tell him how to be because he's been raised. I know he may act like mama's little boy, but he's a grown man. Stop trying to tell these men how to be. I'm trying to tell y'all this stuff works. I've tried it. I'm not just running my mouth and I'm not just talking. I've gone through almost 30 years of trying to figure it out. And I figured out when I started worrying about me, when I started fixing me, he got better. That's the truth. It is true. Yes, it takes two. But when you start to work on yourself, when you start checking yourself, it gets better. When you learn how to shut your mouth, just because I can, don't mean that I should. He may say something that I just don't like. I can say something. And that's with him or anybody. But since we had talked about my peace, I ain't got to say it. Just because I can, don't mean that I should. It's probably best I keep my mouth closed. Because if I know me, it could get worse. If you know you know how bad you can make a situation. Love you, baby. That's my baby, y'all. You know you. And you know that if you keep going, you keep running off at the mouth, something gonna happen. It can get physical. Now y'all sleeping in different rooms, one leaving. It just leads to all kinds of problems. But when I started evaluating myself, I started seeing that he was getting better. My relationship with my husband was getting better. Things in my household was getting better. Women, my ladies, we can make or break the situation. See me later if you need some personal stuff to talk about. I'm willing to help. But I'm guaranteeing and telling you that if you be concerned about you first, think about what you're doing, because you're probably setting off a lot of triggers. And don't think I'm all on his side. No, I'm really out for the wives. That's why I'm trying to help us for the women. I'm trying to help us to understand we can cause a lot of the problems. Don't get mad at me. Please understand our mouths, our attitudes. A man can walk in the room and your attitude nasty. He like, oh, here we go. It's gonna be one of them days. And he can tell it. Yeah, I'm telling you, he can tell it. And he don't want to be there. Keep yours at home. You set the atmosphere in your home. You are a woman. You can do this. Because men sometimes feed off of us. It's true. Men sometimes feed off of us. And when they walk in the house and our attitudes is nasty, you see what I'm saying? So if you change your atmosphere, I ain't saying you got the, hey honey, jump in his lap every time you walk in the house. No, I'm not telling you do that. But when you find that peace within yourself and you're not letting everything bother you, yes, the bill's gonna come. Guess what? To the day you die, they gonna come. Are y'all gonna have problems? Yes, but eliminate as much as you can. Eliminate as much as you can. Know your role. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. But please know your role. Like I said before, that is your man. That is your husband. Know your role. The Bible says that when God created Eve, he performed the surgery on Adam, and he pulled that rib out, and he said that it's not good for man to be alone. So what he do? He made her.
He did. Me.
All right.
You
see what I'm saying? All right. He made her. That was special. God felt that it was not good for Adam. He said, I done gave the animals somebody to be with. I done made somebody for something for everybody. But I didn't give this man something. You should feel special if that's your man. So he performed this surgery and he pulled this rib out and he made her. But he made her to be his helpmate.
Yes.
Ooh.
You hurting me here, girl.
Let me help you. I'm not trying to hurt you. Know your role. This is about to help you. Understand this. Understand this. When you know your role in the marriage, you got him. You got him. Your place is to be his helpmate. So help him to be responsible. Can't do it being his mother. Help him to be kind to you. You can't do it being nasty to him, because he's giving you what you're putting out. If you want, sometimes we are the ones that may have to do the thinking. I'm not down on a man, but seriously, a man wants to. Some men, if they're not controlling, they want us. They depend on us because of their roles. Men, these husbands, men, they have their roles too. As husband, provider, protector, he got all them things he got to do. He got to go to work. He paying them bills. So my mouth is quiet. Thank you, sir. And I'm not doing just because he paid the bills. First of all, let's go back to the beginning. I am who I am. I don't cook for him because of what he does for me. That's just what I do. I was a mother before I met him. My kid had to eat. Again, take care of you. Get your mind right. Get your heart right. Get your thinking right. And then you'll understand what you do for him is really not that hard. Stop being rebellious. Stop being rebellious. You want me to tell you the reason why you're rebellious about that? It's because you got a problem with the submission part.
Mm.
First, you have to understand, submitting does not mean obeying him. It's a reference of respect. It's respect. And when men get that misunderstood, that they feel it's a control thing, then they seriously need to talk to somebody. But it is simply a thing of respect. So if you know your role and you're handling your business and you know that you are there to help him, it can get better. It really can get better. Talk to me later. And I already told you before, set the atmosphere in your home. Set the atmosphere in your homes, ladies. Just set it. We can be hellish a lot of times. We can. I know I done put him through hell with my attitude. My sarcasm is off the charts. It can be off the charts. But I've learned to taper it. I did. I've learned to taper it. And again, make peace or make war. It's your choice. What you gonna do? You gonna make peace or you gonna make war? But I'm gonna challenge some of you all, and call me if you must, but go home and set your atmosphere. You be more peaceful. Watch yourself. Stop watching what he's going to do. Watch yourselves, and call me later in about 2 weeks of practicing it, and tell me what it's like. Mothers. It's a room full of mothers in here. Room full of mothers. She is watching you. I said it in the beginning. My oldest daughter has started to watch me, and I had started seeing her watch me. And I had to think, no, she can't be like me. Now, trust me, they gonna be who they're going to be. And I know it's some mothers in here with your daughters. Please understand, you may not date, they're going to do what they want to do. Whether you teach them right or wrong, which we should be teaching them right or wrong. But I don't care what you do, they're going to live their lives. I did it. Mine are going to do it. My mother did it. Her mother did it. Because I heard stories about my grandmother, but my mother's biological mother. But I'm trying to tell you, they're going to get enough. But be the example. Lead by example. At least give them something to watch. Because if you don't teach her, this world will.
Sure will.
A lot of our young ladies are being lost because they don't have no one to talk to them. And if mama is at home, she's not telling her. Mm-hmm. And I know as we don't want to hear nothing our parents tell us. We don't want to hear instruction. And we get upset about instruction. But everywhere you go in life, it's instructions. You go in the grocery store, you got to behave. You go on a job, you got to behave. You at home, you got rules. Everywhere you go, there are rules. The government, you deal with the government, there are rules. Teach her. Teach her. She may not get it right now, but I promise you, the Bible says, and I believe in the Word of God, if we train our children in the way to go, teach them right from wrong. When they get older, I'm a witness. As I've gotten older, I've done my thing. But I am back in a place that I know my mother prayed me in. I know that. We sat here and talked about all these women that has been an encouragement and a blessing to our lives. What they poured into us. Guess what? It's still there. My mom is dead and gone, but I know that the Bible says that the fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much. Yes. And the prayers that she prayed over me while she was yet on this earth is still covering me.
Yes.
Mothers, keep your children covered. Yes. Mothers, be the example that your children need. Be who she needs you to be. Because it was important for me to change my life because of my daughters. It really was.
Yes.
I'm not saying I was out there like that, but watching me club all the time, as for me and mine. Yeah, are they gonna do their own thing? Yes, they are. But Lord, I pray that they get tired of it a bit sooner than I did. You know? Why do we blame our daughters when they are the products of us? How can you talk about how she is when she's a junior you?
Hello.
She's a mini you. I am telling. I looked at my baby girl last week. We were out of town and we were sitting around with family, and I realized this one thing. She has so much of me in her. She does. She quiet, so I know she's sneaky. That oldest one of mine, ain't put nothing past me. I just didn't. Oh my God. She used to say, I'm just like you. And I'd be like, the devil is a lie. No, you're not. You are not like me. But I'm going to tell y'all, now that all I hold on to is memories of my daughter, when I start thinking about her, I'd be like, that girl is just like me. She was so much like me. So we can't blame our daughters when we're the examples that they're watching. Maybe it's something that, and I'm gonna tell y'all this honestly. My daughter said something to me, and she told me, well, you did it. And she felt because she was grown now, she could tell me, well, you did it. What does that tell me? She was watching me. Yeah. When I see them do certain things, I close my mouth because I say, she got that from me. When they feel like it's okay for them to do things because they've watched us do it, that's on us. We can't now go, oh Lord, help her, Jesus. Oh Lord, please stop her from doing. No, be a better example. God can fix her. God can bring her out, and God will cover her. But watch yourselves. Watch yourselves. It's enough that the world is already teaching our kids so much. Do this, do that. It's okay. It's all right. But you be the biggest example. So many said that there's an aunt, that there's a grandmother, that there's a friend of the family, a woman at the church that has been their examples. That's great. But you are the first example she should watch. Our daughters, for every mother in here, our daughters need us to do better for them, for their futures. They need to see us do better. They need to see us do things right. And here's another thing. I heard one of the ladies say this, and I do agree. I don't have a problem with being my children's friends. But there's a time and a place. My mother did not become my friend until I didn't need her so much as my mother. She was always going to be mom. And let me tell you something. I tell my kids in a heartbeat. I had to tell my oldest daughter. She said something to me, and I said, wait a minute. I got a text in my phone. I can show y'all. She said something to me in a text, and I said, this is the reason why I can't be your friend, because right now you need me as your mother. There are points. They are grown. Yes, they are grown. But there comes a point. No, I'm not trying to be friends with my 12-year-old.
Exactly. Right.
I'm not. Right. Don't like me. Hug me later. But I'm not being friends. Me and my 10-year-old are not besties. I hear that. Oh, my bestie. No, I'm not your best friend. I'm your mother. You'll find that at school. My status and my level in your life is different. You want a friend? Go somewhere and play. Right now, I'm your mama. Now, when you grow up and understand that I'm going to always be mama, and you know my position and you can respect it, at some point in life, we can become friends. Right. But you have to have the understanding, I'm going to always be mama. At 18 years old, I remember my mother slapped me in my mouth in front of a whole bunch of people. Oh my God. I was 17, probably 6. However, I was in high school. I was in high school. But however, my mother came up there first of all because I had been skipping school and she was checking my attendance. Being nosy in my business, you know. And so she came up to the school and I called myself, who wants their mama or daddy to come up to the school? And I called myself getting smart. My mama hauled off and slapped me in my mouth. I skipped school for 2 days. I did. I needed them to forget what happened. I was so embarrassed. I walked out that door. I ain't say nothing else when I got out them doors because I knew at that point my mama wasn't no more taller than me, but I ain't play with that woman, you know. And she slapped me in my mouth. She corrected me. And I remember at one time I was I think I was 30, but I was grown, had my own house, my own husband. We had 2 dogs and a rabbit at the time. And my mother was at my house. And I was getting ready to go out to the club. And my mama said, baby, I know you're not going to wear that out this house. And I said, she at my house. But guess what she was being? Her mother. Don't get, young ladies, don't get mad because your mama is saying something to you. She loves you, she cares about you, and she's looking out for your best interest. Don't get mad. And for you all to have younger daughters, teach her this kind of stuff. Respect yourself. What's the main thing? We as women always, ain't nothing wrong with getting yourself together. Ain't nothing wrong with feeling your beauty and going out and hanging out and having a good time and put your clothes. I put my clothes on for me, and that's what the most of us say. But guess what? Somebody else out there hawking and snaring and, oh, we baby. If you don't want that, don't dress that. I said the same thing. I don't need you to buy me no drink gone somewhere. But they go try it, ain't gonna stop them from trying. Ain't nothing wrong with being beautiful. It's a room full of beautiful women. Just know how to carry yourself when you're in your clothes. When you learning how to carry yourself. Let me tell you something. People will treat you the way that you are. Don't tell me, nobody in here can tell me, and you probably can, maybe you can, maybe you can't. You call her out her name simply because how she acts. Oh yeah, I know. People call you the same thing. So check yourself first. Check yourself first. Mothers, while we're checking our daughters, while we're putting them in their places, while we're letting them know I ain't your friend, I'm your mama right now, do it with love. Chastisement without love is abuse. Yeah. If you ain't got no love for me, and you call yourself chastising me, it's abuse. You're abusing me. And that's for anybody. Anybody that's speaking into your life or saying something to you, if they're not doing it with love, they're abusing you. Understand that. Don't let people talk to you any kind of way.
Hello.
That right there.
Don't tolerate it. Do not take it. Sometimes you may have to bite your tongue and walk away to keep your character and keep your peace.
Yes.
But there's nothing wrong with letting people know that's not tolerated. You can't talk. He can tell you, oh, you can't talk to me like that. And it's not because I think I'm higher than anybody. It's because I know myself. It's because I respect myself. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to disrespect me because I don't disrespect you. Chastisement without love is abuse. I've said this and you all kept hearing me say this. Just because I can does not mean that I should. And that's in the Bible. Listen at it, y'all. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. That's in the Bible. Take that scripture and read it. And again, pray before approaching. Sometimes if you take that time in the moment, in that heat, because while you talking to God and you're not flipping off, while you talking to God, you're going to understand that's coming down. That pressure is coming down. Take that advice. Pray before approaching. Now, at this point, I am going to break so that you guys can get you something to eat. And I thank you for this part thus far. And I promise you it won't be much longer after we come back. But take about 20, 30 minutes. Go ahead and get you something to eat, nourish yourselves. And when we come back, I will be going into what I do. And this part, I want you ladies to participate in it. It is a part of coaching. Finding out that one thing in your life, what area in your life that you want to work on. Whatever it may be, whether it's relationships, your jobs, personal self-esteem, the quality of your life, personal goals, the organization of your life, your health and fitness or finance, whatever it is, then we're going to come back and I'll walk you through how we can attack it and solve it. Thank you.